Joining me now, author Linda Spalding. Let's just take a moment and highlight some of your accomplishments. You have received the Harbourfront Festival Prize for your contribution to Canadian literary community. You are currently nominated for the Roger Writers Trust Fiction Prize, a finalist in that, and also a finalist for the Governor General's Literary Award for your newest novel, The Purchase. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thanks.
How are you doing this morning?
Thanks for letting me come on. I'm doing great. Considering the hour. Yeah. You know, writers don't like to get up early.
The life of a writer.
I know.
And a successful one. So it's such an honor to speak to you this morning, and it's very exciting, the different nominations. But let's just take a moment and perhaps fill people in, give them a bit of an overview about the newest writing. What is it like to sort of go back over your great grandfather's life and draw from that?
I didn't actually go over his life. I didn't know anything about his life. The only thing I knew, and it took a little bit of research, but I'd had some hints. I knew he had been excommunicated or disowned by the Quakers, and this is in the 1700s, right. So a long time ago. Before we don't know things about people then really, but we have a few records. And so I knew that, and I knew that he'd left Pennsylvania and the Quaker community with his wagon full of children, one of which was a newborn, and a brand new wife, who was probably the reason he got disowned in the first place, because his wife had died. He quickly remarried, which is what a guy with 5 kids would do.
But a 15-year-old?
Well, okay. She was there. She was available. And she was actually his indentured servant, and he didn't know what else to do with her, is my theory. So in the wagon they go, and down along what is now sort of the Shenandoah. There's a highway through the Shenandoahs, but in those days it was called the Wilderness Road. Okay. All these, you know, even back then they had Conestoga wagons, covered wagons. And they were sort of, you know, neck to back, all the way across Virginia. All these people trying to go farther away than they were already from wherever they'd come from.
So what was the experience of writing this novel like compared to some of the nonfiction works that you've done in the past?
Yeah, because my last 2 books were nonfiction.
Right.
It was harder. It was harder.
Imagine.
I mean, perhaps less heartbreaking, because my last book was about a woman who's been in prison for 34 years, and I'm very involved with her story and in a very personal way, so that was kind of hard. And this one was hard because I had to make it up. Because it's, you know, despite the fact that it was sort of inspired by my great-great-great-grandfather,
Right.
I really didn't, you know, I didn't know his story. I wanted to make myself understand him, because I knew that he had become a slave owner, and Quakers didn't do that. It was unheard of.
Right.
You know, they were tremendously abolitionists. So, what happened? What happened to him that made that happen? And then what was the effect once he'd done that? His life must have come apart in some, you know, psychological way.
So, speaking more in terms of the Governor General's Literary Award, what an accomplishment! I mean,
well, no, I haven't got the award. Only a nomination.
But even to be nominated, I would think.
Well, that's nice. That's wonderful. Yeah,
for sure. And I mean, the winners take away, I think, $25,000.
Yeah.
So, for you, does that put pressure on you? And would it be about winning the award and the recognition, or the money, or what?
No, because
what
it's about is it's wonderful to be nominated, and you get to sort of float on that little river of happiness for a while, and then it's over, you know. But probably, you know, one of us will get to go on with it. But just the nomination is great.
Yes,
it's really great, because things like this happen, you know, and we're all out there slugging away, writing these books that take years and years and years, and every once in a while, your name gets pulled out of the hat, you know, for a little tiny bit of attention. That's pretty great.
It was a real pleasure to speak with you this morning.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks.
And the winners will be announced November 14th, or November 13th, rather, so we'll keep our fingers crossed for you. Good luck with that. And it's not an
unlucky number, is it?
So, no, of course not. I think definitely it does not go against you. A reminder that you can pick the purchase up at pretty much anywhere where books are sold, whether it's the bigger stores, or Linda mentioned that she actually saw herself in an airport
Yes.
as well. So you have really made it big when you know that you're on those airport bookshelves.